If you've noticed that your mind keeps drifting towards worst-case scenarios, negative memories, and imagined disasters, even when life is okay, you're not broken. And once you understand why your brain craves negativity, you can begin to redirect it instead of fighting it. This isn't a personality flaw, it's wiring. Your brain did not evolve to make you happy. It evolved to keep you alive. And for most of human history, survival depended on spotting danger faster than comfort. The humans who imagined threats lived longer than the ones who assumed everything was fine. So your brain learned a simple rule: expect the worst first. That ancient survival system is still running, except now the danger is emails, social situations, relationships, and imagined futures. Your brain scans for what could go wrong not because you're pessimistic, but because it believes it's protecting you. This is called the negativity bias. Psychologically, negative experiences leave a longer and stronger imprint than positive ones. One criticism can outweigh 10 compliments. One mistake can replay louder than years of success. Your brain highlights the bad because it assumes the bad contains information you need to survive. But here's where psychology meets awareness. What once protected you can now imprison you. Because the brain does not know the difference between a tiger in the bushes and a thought about tomorrow. It reacts to imagined threats as if they're real. Stress hormones rise. Muscles tense. Your nervous system prepares for danger that never arrives. And the more you rehearse negative thoughts, the more familiar they become. Familiar thoughts feel true. Repetition wires belief. This is how overthinking becomes a habit, not because you're weak, but because your brain is efficient. It repeats what you practice. And this leads to a powerful question. If you can overthink the worst, why not overthink the best? Not as denial, not as fake positivity, but as intentional training. Your brain is plastic. It rewires based on attention. What you repeatedly focus on becomes easier to access. Negativity isn't stronger by nature. It's stronger by rehearsal. Spiritually speaking, attention is energy. Where attention goes, identity follows. If your inner world is a room, negativity is just the furniture you've sat in the longest. It feels like home not because it's right, but because it's familiar. And familiarity is seductive. The mind often chooses a painful certainty over a hopeful unknown. Worry feels safer than optimism because worry feels prepared. But preparation and suffering are not the same thing. You can acknowledge risk without living inside it. This is where the shift happens. You don't eliminate negative thoughts. You change your relationship to them. Instead of asking, why am I like this? You should begin asking, what is my brain trying to protect me from? That question creates compassion instead of shame. Your negativity isn't evidence of failure. It's evidence of a protective system running on outdated settings. And once you see it clearly, you gain choice. Choice is the quiet superpower most people overlook. Between a thought and your reaction to it, there is a small space. In that space lives freedom. You may not control what your brain generates, but you can choose what you rehearse. Every time you redirect attention, even gently, you're training a new pathway. This is not instant. It's repetition. The same way negativity becomes strong through practice, optimism becomes natural through practice. Not blind optimism, balanced awareness. You start asking better questions. What if this works out? What if I adapt? What if I'm more capable than I assume? These questions don't erase danger. They widen perception. And spiritually, widening perception is awakening from the illusion that your thoughts are the full truth. Thoughts are weather patterns. Awareness is the sky. The sky does not fight the storm, it contains it. When you stop identifying with every single negative thought, the storm loses authority. You don't suppress it, you observe it. Observation creates distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity creates choice. And choice is where transformation begins. The brain that learned fear can learn safety. The mind that rehearsed catastrophe can rehearse possibility. This isn't toxic positivity, it's mental strength training. You are not trying to convince yourself that the world is perfect. You are trying to teach your nervous system that survival does not require constant alarm. Peace is not ignorance of danger. Peace is the ability to exist without chasing it. And the most radical spiritual shift is realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them. Negativity passes through you. It's not you. Once you understand this, the craving for negativity starts to loosen. Not because you force it away, but because you stop feeding it unquestioningly. Attention is nourishment. What you feed grows. So the practice becomes simple, but not easy. When the mind rehearses the worst, you introduce the best. Not to cancel the thought, but to balance the scale. And over time, balance becomes baseline. The brain begins to learn a new rule. Safety is possible here. And when the nervous system feels safe, creativity returns, curiosity returns, hope returns, not as a fantasy, but as capacity. You don't stop seeing problems, you stop worshiping them. And that is freedom. Freedom is not a silent mind. Freedom is a mind you are no longer afraid of. So if your brain craves negativity, understand this. It's not broken. It's loyal. It has learned to protect you. And now you're teaching it how to live. And that teaching begins the moment you notice the thought and choose where to place your attention next. That small choice, repeated daily, reshapes the architecture of your inner world. And slowly, almost quietly, the place that once felt heavy becomes spacious. Not because life removed difficulty, but because you stop living only inside it.